Good afternoon, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, and my dear friends. Once again, a hearty welcome to Conventus'25, the annual management conclave of International Management Institute, Delhi. We are delighted to have you with us as we continue with the day's discussions. My fellow host Ayushi and I, Nitish, shall take you through the marketing summit of Conventus'25. This year, the main theme is When the Next Generation Guides the Boardroom. We would now like to play the main theme video.
India, the nation of young hearts, stands at a new dawn, brimming with a vibrant generation, restless yet rooted, bold yet balanced, not waiting for a seat at the table, but redefining the very room at large.
As boardrooms evolve and the sidelines become the stage, we find ourselves at a pivotal point where lines between hierarchy and harmony blur, and wisdom finds its echo in youth.
Learnings from history, hope for the present, and dream for the future. They have it all.
A nation has come of age, and at Conventus 2025, we are writing its story. Here, courage is the currency and ideas are influence. So let's join hands to welcome the emerging dawn, to anticipate, shape, and embrace the change that will define our future.
This year, the Marketing Summit centers on the theme Reimagining Excellence in Marketing, redefining trust, loyalty, and engagement.
In an era where consumer expectations evolve at lightning speed, marketeers are reimagining how brands connect, engage, and inspire. We are moving from transactional campaigns to authentic storytelling, where purpose, personalization, and transparency sit at the heart of brand-consumer relationships. Marketing today isn't about influence alone. It's about earning trust, nurturing loyalty, and driving sustainable growth. By decoding consumer behavior and leveraging data-driven insights, organizations can craft experiences that truly resonate in a connected world.
To make our theme more action-oriented, today's conversation will explore three focus pillars, starting off with building authenticity and trust, blending values with consistent delivery, transparent practices, responsible communication, and experiences that match the promise. Second, personalization with respect, going beyond the vanity metrics to meaningful measures like CLV and retention, powered by consented first-party data and context.
And lastly, designing engagement and loyalty systems. From seamless services to community and co-creation, listening loops, rapid feedback, and moments of truth that turn customers into advocates. With this framing in place, we would now like to play the Marketing Summit theme video. Now, we are honored to introduce Dr. Amrita Bansal as the moderator of the Marketing Summit. She is an assistant professor of marketing at the International Management Institute, Delhi. She has a total work experience of more than 5 years in reputable business schools of India. Her scholarly contributions manifest in publications in esteemed journals such as the Journal of Business Research, Journal of Promotion Management, and Journal of Marketing Communication. Furthermore, she has also presented her work at international conferences like IABS Conference by Business Society and Journal at University of Bath and International Conference on Corporate and Marketing Communications. Her research interests drive into themes ranging from gender portrayal in advertisements to co-creating content through product storytelling to sustainable brands. Her hobbies include writing poems which only she understands, cooking to calm her anxiety, and watching movies. We would now request the Marketing Club Secretary Vivek Bantia to felicitate Dr. Bansal with a token of appreciation. Ma'am, it's a privilege to have you here with us today. Now, we would like to introduce our speakers.
Starting off with Dr. Arun Kumar Dogra, a seasoned marketing professional with over 23 years of diverse experience across telecom, IT, FMCG, entertainment, and educational sectors. Dr. Dogra has played pivotal leadership roles at some of the most reputed and respected organizations, including Luminous Power, Reliance Jio, Airtel, Aircel, Idea Cellular, Globacom Nigeria, and Pidilite Industries. His expertise spans across customer acquisition, lifecycle management, business analytics, product innovation, and enterprise management. Currently heading channel operations at Luminous Power, he has been instrumental in driving partner engagement, digitization, and loyalty initiatives across India. We would now request Dr. Bansal to felicitate Dr. Dogra with a token of appreciation. Sir, we are grateful to have you here with us today.
We're delighted to have Mr. Rahul Dubey as our next panelist. Mr. Dubey is a marketing leader with 13 plus years of experience shaping growth strategies across SaaS, travel, healthcare, and advertising industries. Recognized for driving integrated marketing programs, demand generation, and global event activations, he turns insights into strategic and measurable impact. Mr. Dubey champions innovation, marketing automation, and cross-functional collaboration to build scalable programs that elevate brand presence and accelerate business growth. A firm believer that consistency is key, he focuses on delivering sustainable marketing excellence that resonates with audiences and drives lasting results. We would now request Dr. Bansal to felicitate Mr. Dubey with a token of appreciation. So it's an honor to have you here with us today.
Moving forward, we are delighted to have Mr. Vaibhav Kaul as our next panelist. Marketing leader with 10 plus years of experience in brand growth, GTM strategy, digital and social media, Mr. Kaul has led 30 plus product launches at Samsung, driving India's largest smartphone launch and Samsung's biggest global campaign. He is passionate about scaling launches into cultural moments, building influencer ecosystem, and leveraging data-driven strategies for measurable business impact. We would now request Dr. Bansal to felicitate Mr. Kaul with a token of appreciation. Sir, we are grateful to have you here with us today.
Next, we are delighted to have Ms. Priyanka Arora as our next panelist. She is a multi-talented marketeer who brings 17 years of work experience across finance, strategy, and marketing. She has been celebrated with multiple recognitions including Impact Media 40 Under 40, Business World Marketeers 40 Under 40, and Top 10% Mentors in Jombay Women Leadership Program. She has been on jury of ET Sharks multiple times. As a illogical marketeer, she is passionate about operating at the intersection of creativity, data, and storytelling to drive business transformation and growth. She is an avid promoter of AI in her functional deliveries, an invested team leader, mother, and soon to be a pet parent. She loves spending her time traveling, reading, and playing a sport with her family. Her mantra for life is to never settle for the ordinary, and she is actively pursuing CMO fellowship on one hand and yoga on the other to activate her energy chakras. We would now request Dr. Bansal to felicitate Ms. Arora with a token of appreciation. Ma'am, we are privileged to have you here with us today.
Now, we are delighted to have Ms. Jasleen Kaur Gumbar as our next panelist, Head of Category Marketing and PR at Bata India. With an impressive career across global brands like Hugo Boss, Mother Care, Hamleys, United Colors of Benetton, and Canon, Jasleen brings deep expertise in brand strategy, sustainability, and creative marketing. She has been recognized among top 100 brand custodians of India and honored as an exceptional woman of excellence by the Women Economic Forum. Today, she is also accompanied by her 7-year-old daughter. We would now request Dr. Bansal to felicitate Ms. Jasleen with a token of appreciation. Ma'am, we are grateful to have you here with us today. We would also like to felicitate Mr. Nivid Agarwal, Principal Consultant at our sustainability sponsor, STEM Executives.
Before we begin the discussion, we would like to introduce an initiative close to our hearts, our 9-year-old baby, Marketing Directions. Born from the idea that marketing is rich with inspiring campaigns, iconic personalities, and dynamic firms, Marketing Directions brings these insights together as a monthly resource for scholars, practitioners, and enthusiasts. It has grown from a single person effort into a collaborative endeavor by the Marketing Club, guided by Dr. Neena Sondhi and Dr. Amrita Bansal, and inspired by Piyush Pandey, who said, "A brand is not what you say it is, it's what people remember it by."
Each year, this magazine evolves. This year, we proudly bring back our physical compendium, an accessible archive of the past editions for everyone who shares our passion for marketing. Thank you for being a part of our journey as we chronicle an ever-evolving field. Dia from the Marketing Club will now present the newly launched Marketing Directions magazine to the esteemed panelists.
We would like all the speakers to take a group photograph with the Marketing Directions. Yes. With our theme, Reimagining Excellence in Marketing, Redefining Trust, Loyalty and Engagement, front and center, we now move on to the panel discussion. We look forward to hearing how industry leaders design for trust, deliver for loyalty, and measure true engagement. We would now request Dr. Bansal to take the discussion forward.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much. So today, as we have already discussed, that the panel discussion will be more about trust, loyalty, and engagement. Uh, Trust is no longer a static promise, as I always discuss in my class, that it's a living relationship that brands must earn every day. In an age of transparency and technology and accessibility, especially to knowledge, trust has become the truest measure of brand strength. So, my first question is actually to all the panelists, and we can start from Arun as well from here. So each of your brands stands for trust in a very different way. So the definition of trust with the companies that you work with have a different meanings. So Luminous through reliability at the last mile, Cvent through data-driven B2B engagement, Samsung through innovation, consistency, Max Life through emotional reassurance, and Bata through heritage and reinvention. In your view, what truly builds durability of trust today? So we would start with Arun. Yes.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for this question to me. For Luminous, as you mentioned, trust and Luminous is a different company put together in terms of their working style. We don't deal mostly with end-to-end customers. Our end customers are our retailers and dealers because our product per se is a little technical, and we would definitely require somebody in between to make people understand, and there has to be a person in between. So for us, customers are our retailers and those who are installing our products. So those are our customers, and building trust with them is building relationship with them. And Luminous truly work a lot to build relationship with all our channel partners to last mile. Whether it's about maintaining transparency in terms of their incentives, whether it is about maintaining industry first kind of initiatives for their let's say any kind of a loyalty programs, whatever it comes, our channel partners, they should be feeling after meeting the brand that they are better than rest of the anybody in the industry is doing for them. So I think this is what for us means trust with these partners, and this is how we as a brand take it, and this is how I'm trying my level best to take it forward.
So Rahul, I understand you have a very different kinds of customers at Cvent.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For any B2B organization, and to be honest, to start with, I think everybody knows that most of the business comes from our existing clients, right? Our 80 or 95% business come from existing clients. If we are not able to keep our relationship, then probably that 80% business which you are getting from existing customers, you would not get it. And you were talking about three things: reliability, and then transparency and engagement. I would say that reliability and transparency comes and goes hand in hand, and it depends. It's a combination of both, because the trust and client would trust when technology, because I'm into B2B SaaS organization, so they client will trust your technology when it's working when they need it, and every time it's working fine, right? And the trust will survive, or the relationship will survive, if we are transparent with our client, be it about the outcomes, about the learnings, or about the data, because data privacy is one thing which everybody does take care of carefully, right? So we will have to take care of the data which customers are sharing with us. And when we are into B2B space, imagine Facebook is keeping your data everywhere. So we trust Facebook, right? Because the data we are sharing, the photos, the information we are sharing on Facebook, it's being captured and kept safely at one place. If that breach happens, it means that it's going to go. It means that we will not trust the platform we are dealing with and we are investing in. Then the last thing would come: engagement. The engagement would come in the last. And when the clients would become partner, when they would genuinely feel that we are genuinely investing in them, not about the renewals, not about the profit we are getting from them, but about about their growth, about their business outcome. And when we become a partner with them, for example, they are doing a business, right? And we are not just giving them the software and platform, we are consulting them so that whatever they're doing, it does not just get executed, but it becomes the I would say monumental for other future conferences or other future projects they drive. Hence, reliability, transparency, and engagement. It's a combination of everything, but it has a step, and every relationship comes with its own objective and challenges. Which, if an organization is able to achieve, they will be able to nourish that relationship, and that would be long-lasting relationship with turning out to be a partner.
All right. Thank you. So Vaibhav, maybe from B2B to B2C shift now. Yeah.
So I think I want to pick a cue from what you said, that trust as a currency is not static, correct? Second, I want to pick on a common wisdom says that trust typically in a two people relationship would be what, right? It'll be mutual. That's what common understanding would be. If two of you are in a relationship, person A will trust person B and person B will trust person A. Correct? That's consensus. I want to challenge this between a brand consumer relationship. It's wrong. See, because it cannot be two-way. Because for most brands, they have no other reason but to trust the consumer. Any view on that? See, from a brand, no brand can survive without not trusting the consumer. And for a brand, consumer is not a trust relationship. So the trust has to be the other way. It has to be, so unlike a two people relationship, a normal relationship where both people need to trust each other, in a brand and consumer relationship, one-sided trust from the other side is extremely important. Brand trust doesn't mean anything. It's the other way. That's one. Second, if you see, in a two people relationship, communication is always typically two-way, right? If you see most conventional marketing that all of us have been doing, it has been one way. It has changed, the dynamics have changed, right? It has moved from broadcast, then from one to many. Now it's still one-to-one with some level of personalization, but it's still the originating source is the brand and the consumer is at the receiving end. So I think for a true relationship to happen and true trust to build, the communication source also needs to, kind of change from the other side. So very important for consumers. See, and there's a very important saying that the brand is not what the consumers tell you what you are. It's what they talk to each other or in hidden forums or in closed groups. That's what you are. So I think extremely important to crack this trust code, to be more agile in listening, more agile in decoding. See, it's all out there. If you go to any of the digital groups, social media, forums, all your Quora, Reddits, be there, listen. I think you'll find the voice there.
All right. So I think it's a very different viewpoint of cementing relationships and looking at from a different stance, that how actually the relationship between a brand and a customer is. So Priyanka, what is your viewpoint when you look at trust and brand relationship? It's actually there, or you have something different to say about it?
Sure, Amrita. I think I'll take a step back in terms of decoding why are we even talking about trust in the first place. So I come from an industry which is a very push sort of a business. Nobody wants to buy insurance or life insurance to begin with. It's a serious yet a responsible space, a product which needs consciousness, which means a lot of push. So why do we promote trust? What's the origin? Why it is important? How are we playing along? I'll take you to the days in olden times when in a family there was one go-to person. Somebody called them Kaka, somebody called them Mossy, and that go-to person was your supporter, your partner, your uh, punching bag in terms of whenever you faced thick and thin, you could go and talk to that person, and he or she always had a solution. So in our category, we want to be that partner. In your thick and thin, in your life journey, in your milestones, in your life goals, we want to be that responsible, trustworthy partner. But this comes with a twist. In our category, everybody has to be trustworthy. So how do you actually stand out? We took, as a brand, Axis Max Life Insurance took a stance higher, and we said we will not only promise trust, we will tangibilize it. And hence we introduced a number, which was that how much of the claims are we meeting? What's our moment of truth? Our moment of truth is when the customer is in that dire need, are we committing to the promise that we are making as a category? Yes, we are. We put that number into a tangible testimony, and we took that space, we excelled that space, we became a leader in that space. Our claims paid ratio is the highest in the industry, and it's been highest year after year. That's how we've made a brand asset. And we said that we will walk the trust, we will talk the trust, and we will live the trust in every touch point that we have on the customer experience journey. That's how we live by the meaning of trust in our category. Thank you.
So I think trust and tangibility is the way to go, especially in insurance, as you said. So Jasleen, what's your tangibility and trust ratio in your industry?
See, this is first the unfortunate part of being at the end of the panel because all your points are spoken about. But I'm going to talk a little bit about history because there is no future without history, and marketing is a circle of life. You know, it's an ever changing, dynamic field. Let's go back. Let's go back to the times when barter was in. What used to happen was there were a couple of sailors who would move from continent to continent, and they would search and they would discover very new things, and they would get those back to their towns, and included spices, pearls, and gold and silver. That time, an individual face was the beacon of trust. You know, this man is a sailor. He goes, he discovers new places, and he brings back stuff. And there were many traders like that. Things started moving. There was export and import that came in place. And then what happened was there were smaller shops, hawkers that came into being. And they were more like roadside pop-up stores. So availability was the trust. I go into that market, I find what I need, there is a cluster, and markets always evolve in cluster. There's always a furniture market, there's always a spice market. So that became the source of trust. It was not one brand, it was not one person. Then what started happening was people were like, you know what, it's a pop-up store. If I go next month, it might be there, might not be there. I'm going to start trusting shops. I'm going to start trusting somebody who's got a setup. Yeah. Then what really became trust beacon was your infrastructure. Do you own a shop? Are you there if I would come 1 month from now and I would say that, you know, your product has a problem? That became trust. Then what happened was now products were all alike. I am selling a utensil, she's selling a utensil, there's no difference. They started adding labels to it. Brands came into being. And brands started becoming the beacon of trust. Now it's a very mature field. You've got brands, you've got availability, you've got supply, you've got infrastructure, you've got capex. What then will define trust? Then differentiation started defining trust. You know, her utensil has Teflon coating, my utensil has no coating, it is safer. Then there were features, there were augmentations. Why I'm saying all of this is because it's very important for you to understand that trust is the most dynamic thing. Today, what makes you trust my brand and what 20 years thence somebody else will trust my brand are going to be two very, very different things. In today's date, it's very surprising, but I'm quoting a market research which says that price parity is the biggest form of trust. If I'm entering into your store and I'm finding something for $2,000, I should be able to trust you that you will not be selling it on Amazon for $1,000. Because if you are, you're not maintaining the price parity, I don't trust you. The second most important point that I would like to say is that a lot of times organizations think that these are the things I'm doing to get your trust. But the bigger question is customer even considering those things as trustworthy? I am not concerned about what your workplace environment is like. For example, there can be a lot of customers who go back and say that that's not something that makes me that motivates me, or that makes me feel like I should trust you. But then there are a lot of customers who boycotted Shein just because they felt, listen, if you're not giving equal wages, if you're not giving minimum wages, I am not going to buy from your brand. There are people who have boycotted, and I don't want to name brands, just because they were producing in China. Because you say French formulation, but made in China. I don't trust you for that. It's important, the industry you're in, the category you're in, the brand you're in, it's important for you to be connected with your customers. Every customer is going to have a different motivation for trusting you or not trusting you. So first, understand your consumer. It's like Weber said, it's customer is the king, and it's a very demand-based market now. It's not a supply-based market. I have to go to my consumer and understand what is the definition of trust that my consumer is expecting from me. Yeah.
So exactly, we need to understand that what's the definition of trust basically to our target audience, and accordingly create our brand in that particular language. So coming to the next round of question, so this is basically for Vaibhav and Jasleen, because you guys come from a, I would not say like similar industries, but I would just take a hunch. Okay, like because it's a B2C. All right. So both of your brands operate at the intersection of physical retail and digital engagement, as you was talking about price parity. In your view, are stores today still the loyalty anchor, or have they become more of a trust validation touch point before the final online purchase, because the customer journey is not very linear now? So I can start with Vaibhav. Yes.
I think both. Obviously, like Jasleen said, that in olden times, us having a store would be an anchor of that trust that, okay, I know there is a shop, I can come back if anything goes wrong. So yes, not only an anchor of trust, also a validation of touch point before the sales. See, today, the consumer journey is not linear, right? They can start at retail, they can do an online check, they can do a review rating check on Amazon, they can do a YouTube video search. So it's all over the place, honestly. It's the toughest time, honestly, to be a marketer, because the consumer journey is all over the place. And at times you'll be surprised that, at the awareness consideration, sometimes during offer period, when you have typically the sales offers, typically, the big billion days and all those portal offers, that's a window when you will see the entire purchase journey, converging into one. So your awareness, your consideration, evaluation, and final buying will happen in that window. So all traditional consumer journeys are also honestly going for a toss. Having said that, online, offline, the omni-channel, so it's important to have today, presence across all the touch points. So yes, retail in that way serves as a proof. Also, retail businesses are not that easy to build, and likewise they are like how we typically say, it's like a fort, right? You take a lot of time to build a fort, and it's not easy to break. So retail business gives you that cushion, that validation, that strength, that you, like I said, retail businesses are built brick by brick, store by store. It's not that online has a very different dynamic, different approach that users look at. So I think, retail is extremely important from both perspectives, from an omni-channel presence that people can come, search, check, and also like a big trust validation. And we're seeing this entire strategy mix that even most of the D2C brands, in the online space, D2C first brands are trying to adopt that. after having scaled a certain level, now they need to go to the other elements of brand. And I think somewhere retail, while it's a channel, but it's also a very key component. When you go from a brand which is digital or online only to a brand which is going to scale, I think customer service, retail, these are the two big infrastructure that you need to build to scale your brand to the next level.
Jasleen?
See, I kind of feel there are certain questions that are very difficult to answer, and this would be one of them, and I'll tell you why. About 3 or 4 years back, there was this big wave when crypto came in, and people were like, "Oh, crypto is going to take over everything. The rupee would cease to exist, dollar would cease to exist," but it didn't happen. I remember when I started my career, there was a huge propaganda, and I'm sure, I think all of us would have seen that print is going to be dead. It's not dead still. It's still making a lot of money. What I want to say is that things coexist. That's the most important thing. And sometimes it takes about a century for certain channels to stop being in existence. And that's a very long period of time for it to cover all of our careers. If we would have had this summit and COVID would not have happened, my answer would have been very different. See, retail for the longest time was considered as a shock-proof touch point. तुम्हारा store है, mall में footfall आ रहा है, you will get business, yeah. And COVID just flipped things for everyone. COVID was probably one of the biggest shockers for people who are in the retail industry primarily. I think I can personally count so many people who had their businesses shut, who had their brands shut, just because there was no footfall. And in the history of business and marketing, you'd never imagined a world where footfall will cease to come for years and months. It extrapolated the growth of digital, and everything has a flipped side. Growth of digital also has a threshold. People have started talking about the dark warehouses of Blinkit. People have started questioning, do you really need everything in 10 minutes? People have really started questioning the growth of e-commerce. I think my answer always to this question is that you have to keep everything in balance. You have to keep it in moderation. There has to be enough data to tell you that you are growing year on year for your consumer touch point. And I think I would echo what Vaibhav said, that digital is a big touch point. You cannot not be on digital, because that's where a big part of discovery happens. That's also a very important part of the consumer journey. So you cannot leave that. But at the same time, you have to remember that as a brand, when you partner with a marketplace, it's a co-partnership. You don't own it. Until unless you're talking about just your brand.com. Marketplaces are double-edged swords. It's a very controversial term that I'm using, but it is, because at the end of the day, you're being hosted on someone's platform. But it's important because that's where consumers are coming in. Retail would always be that touch point which gives you experience. And I feel the two experience of two brands cannot ever be matched. So brands who are wanting to play the long game, they know that retail for me is that channel where I have to build differentiation. An Apple store, I mean, it's a delight to enter an Apple store. Imagine if those stores cease to exist. I want to flip that question and ask you, on the other side, has anyone ever been to an Amazon store? Have you ever been to a Zomato outlet? But you know who Jeff Bezos is, and you know who Dipinder Goyal is. So like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Moderation is important. I think checks and balances to knowing that there are guardrails around your first-party data. You are growing at the kind of target you want to grow. Experience is not compromised, because a lot of times, for example, not just our brand, but then a lot of other retail brands, they feel like the moment they get the product out to a marketplace, the consumer experience is compromised, because it's an Amazon or a Myntra or a Flipkart who's really taking the experience forward. It's not your brand. So yeah, again, I would not give you a very clear answer, but then the answer is moderation. The answer is keeping it balanced.
I totally agree, Jasleen, because every channel for some brands it might be for validation and trust. For some channel is just for the experience, right? So every channel has its different agenda and motives, and it's totally depends on the brand how they write their story with all these touch points and refine them for better trust, right? So my next question is to Arun and Priyanka. So both of you operate in industry where after sales service is very important. Okay. So how do you translate operational performance into measurable marketing advantages? And can service excellence itself become a marketing story itself? I think Priyanka, in your first answer, there was a hint of it. So I'll start with you. Yes.
Sure. Thank you, Amrita. So, yeah, I would want to pick the cue from where I left the last, that insurance, the trust is established in the moment of truth. That's a hard moment, but the ones who stand by you as partners in that moment are really trustworthy. That's the credibility that we establish in the industry, that we are going to pay the claim as and when it will occur. It'll be fast, it'll be hassle free, it will be quick, it'll be less challenging for you. It'll make sure that we give you the mind space to be with your family, and rest, leave it to us. That converts into a number which is called bharose ka number. That's the claims paid ratio. And to build a connection, we call it as bharose ka number, because that's the trust converted into a credible number that we want to portray. And then we put the spice of IIM batch into it. What is IIM? It's India into marketing. Now we call our bharose ka number as India ke bharose ka number. How do we get that stature and leadership pole post? By being there year after year, by being on the leader position year after year, and having the flag high on bharose ka number. We started from 98%, we went to 99%, and right now we are at 99.7%, which means there's a 99.7% probability that if you buy an insurance policy from us, your claim at that moment of toughness will be paid. That's the assurance we bring on the table. Now, how does it becomes a marketable story? First, it tells you on face that we deliver our promises. We have a walking number which talks about it. We put the IIM tadka into it, which says that it is India ke bharose ka number. We want to be that assurance in every household, every family. We are actively progressing towards the goal of Har Ghar insurance by 2047. And we are the benchmarks in terms of, the claims paid ratio. Now, coming to your question, Amrita, how does it goes into other facets of business? Well, to deliver this beautiful narrative, we have to live by, and we have to need a very robust chassis at the end of the car, which means that you need to have good operations, you need to have faster turnarounds, you need to have a very robust system supporting it to deliver to your promise, to be there every single time, to be consistent on your performance, to look after the customer and be customer centric by all means. So hence, to support your marketing narrative, there has to be a fulfillment engine, there has to be a ops capability, there has to be a customer service, and there has to be always partnership across all functions to put the weight together and to bring up the narrative year after year consistently.
So Arun, what's your bharose ka number in your company?
I think she has pretty much nailed it. As I mentioned, my industry operates a little different than rest of them, because for us, our customers are our channel partners. So I'll start with one line. Competition can actually copy a product. They can definitely copy a service, but definitely they cannot copy any experience which we actually end up giving to our end customers. So any product, any service can be copied, but experience is what matters to my channel partners. And continuously as a company, where the very recent category which we introduced last year, which is solar, gives a warranty which is up to 25 years, and there are many competition in there over all over in the market, because apparently that's the growing space we are in. So we have to actually rely on our channel partners and the middleman, which we call system installers. So we work around, while over the ATL part of it works on what we normally, what you mentioned in your beginning, that Luminous is always there. Solar hai lagana to Luminous ko bulana. That is there as a broad code, but at the core, we work on making and enable our channel partners, so that whatever we are trying to communicate to the end customers, all these end partners, whosoever is actually servicing them, whosoever is taking care of them, they are pretty much enabled in all sort of, let's say, either it's technology, whether they need to dimension the system, whatever they are putting, whether there is a product replacement which is happening, they should only think luminous lagaya hai na, to service mil jayegi. So this is what the promise we work on with our partner, and we want them to stick to our brand, and this is how we kind of put that narrative of, and we use that as a I mean, we are the most trusted brand among most of the partners. We have partners as old as 30 years. So that is how we've been consistently working with it. So this is what, for us, service is how we are working. Thank you.
So I also agree with that. Making your partners enable, okay, does most of your work, because that's where the operational things happen. So the promises are kept because of the operations and the work that you do.
So humanly, for any brand, this is very difficult to reach to any end consumer. So we have just enabled pretty much 50,000 plus partners who are there on ground. We have just promised to them, whatever you will bring it to us in terms of whatever queries or, let's say, problems or service related help which you need, we are there. So you come to us, we'll solve it for you. So I think that is what is our mantra of being there relevant.
Absolutely correct. So Rahul, my next question is to you, that you are in a B2B ecosystem, and I would also like that in one line you also explain what Cvent actually is. All right. So in B2B, the trust compounds over repeated engagements. Okay, it's not a one-time purchase or one-time interaction. What metric beyond revenue do you believe best signals that a client is moving from satisfaction to advocacy? And before we were having discussions, and you did talk about that you have such long-term clients as well. So can you just throw some light on it?
Yeah, see, for B2B organizations, when we feel that customer is moving from transaction to transformation relationship, when they start co-creating with us, when it is very comfortable for us to reach out to them and say, okay, would you want to become a part of our conference? Would you want to become a part of our advocacy program? Because most of the organizations are running the advocacy program, right, in order to engage with the client and clients specifically. And advocacy programs are not just to inform them what is being done by company, but what we want to hear from you. What challenges your region is facing, what feedback you want to give it to us. Do you want, or even clients would come to us and say, we want to test your beta, right? What you guys are doing at the behind, we want to see, we want to help you, we want to give you feedback what's really happening. The moment that it start happening, we start feeling that the relationship is not just a revenue relationship. It's about having the partner relationship with them. And then when you have a partner relationship, right, then it becomes very important and very easy for us to do a cross-sell, upsell. And it's just about one client and partner. That one client and partner can influence 100 other people as well. 100 other people means your company is not going to get stopped there. They will go and talk and advocate about you. One dissatisfied customer can turn down $100 million business. Right, so that's the effective and influence of a good consumer and a client. In the B2B space, it becomes important because one person is taking decision on whether they are going to use a technology or software, and that means losing not one specific deal, but huge market and potential, which we call the TAM, total addressable market, in that particular region. That's why we believe in that. The moment they start engaging with us, the moment they start talking to us about the problem, we feel that this relationship is not just revenue; it has gone beyond, and they are advocate of us.
So yeah, so the co-creation part of things in the process is something that increases your touch points and engagement as well,
Right.
So and that eventually leads to the trust. So now coming to our last question from my side, and this is going to be a bit of a like a very quick one-liner kind of a question. So if you had to reallocate like a substantial amount for from your next year budget, okay, so where would you like to invest it? Like there's no control in it, like you can just think about it. So will it be in AI-driven engagement? Will it be in supply chain transparency or loyalty program? These are just three options that we have given. You can choose your own as well. So we'll start with you. Yeah.
So I think Luminous as a brand, as I mentioned you since beginning, we value a lot on relationship building. Even in present time, most of our budget we try to keep on relationship building. And given the choice of next year, I definitely would go with the relationship building for sure, because that's what worked for me.
All right. So
For,
Rahul.
for me, it would be AI driven engagement. Why say AI driven engagement? Because now AI is capturing market, right? And AI does help you identify what customer needs. Imagine, if I'm able to identify what my customer needs without they are telling me. If I'm able to deliver that experience, that product, that service which they need before they tell them, I'm gonna to be on the top of the requirement what they needed. So AI driven engagement is my choice.
Weber.
I think you had said three things, right? So AI, loyalty, and what was the third one? Operation.
Yes, supply chain transparency.
I think
Yes,
clearly all of the above. But having said that, yes, obviously AI and AI not just in terms of some having set of tools, but like how do you use that to have a much better understanding on the consumer journey, because that I think is extremely important, because we will see a big change in how consumers are searching up for products. I'm sure you guys today, I don't know how many of you use Google versus a chat GPT. So I think the answer would be there. Most of your presentations, PPTs, I'm sure you've used chat GPT already enough and more. So that's one big change we've seen in just, I think, matter of 6 months, right? Chat GPT. So it's changing so much. So definitely AI. Loyalty, see, when I technically hate the word loyalty, because I know by loyalty we typically mean those loyalty programs and cards, but I think in the beginning you set the context of loyalty of having co-communities, right? So I think that's one area where most brands kind of don't, I would say, do well, because that's community. Like I said, it's not what brands want to tell the people or what the users want to tell us. Communities is what the users are talking to each other. That's a clear secret sauce, I think, which most brands would, and we also would want to invest in. Loyalty in terms of building not just like points and smart reward points, but real hardcore community building work. Yeah, so I think clearly all three.
All right. Okay. Priyanka.
So I think in my intro, it was clearly said that I'm an AI enthusiast, so I cannot take a detour at this moment. But I will still share a different perspective that connection precedes conversion. Most of my budget will go into authentic storytelling, into establishing the connections. Insurance is truly a white space category, and we need to do more and more in terms of penetration, and it's a social responsibility. So the first task definitely will be on creating the right set of awareness and the right level of awareness. But having said that, AI is definitely going to be the next engine and the capability in terms of feeding through the entire funnel, be it the right onboarding, which will optimize your customer acquisition cost, be it the right level of activation and retention, which will make sure that once the customer is onboarded, how much is he giving you? Is he even giving you the right level of revenues? Is he even being profitable and giving you the lifetime value? And this setting you up in the right direction of virality. How many users he's recommending more as your promoter. That gives you organic business, that leads the way towards your right marketing mix model, and then optimizing the entire engine and setting it up for a viral loop. So this is the kind of resource mobilization that I would want to go behind, which sets you up one stage or leading to the other leading to the third one, and then setting you up for a sustainable business model. And hence, AI is going to be definitely a co-pilot in this journey.
All right. Jasleen?
I think if you really say that it's a widespread arena and we can pick in anything, I would want to choose relevance. Because the unfortunate and the sad part is there are a lot of legacy brands also that have died just because they were not relevant. Nokia, Kodak. I mean, all these were mammoth and humongous brands. And like I say, it's an ever changing, it's a dynamic landscape. Today, we all used to go to cafe coffee day one point. It used to be a status symbol. And I think I say this with a lot of conviction that loyalty is dead. People are not loyal to brands, they're just loyal to emotions. They used to enter a CCD, they used to feel cool. Now the same cool emotion is now transferred to a Starbucks. So they've stopped going to CCD, they started going to Starbucks. What's changed between a CCD and Starbucks is just relevance. Starbucks is more culturally relevant, it's more culturally updated. So I think for any brand, the prime motive is existence. Existence precedes everything. There always has to be a certain amount of caution that should be built within the brand to know that they're going to exist in the next 50 years. And for that, I think over my years of 15, 16 years, experience of 15, 16 years, what I've realized is that the first red flag or the green flag that anybody can raise on existence is marketing. Because that's the only department that's consumer facing, that's in touch with what's happening on the ground. And if there are additional budgets coming in, I would always want to welcome them to understanding if the brand is working on the trajectory to being relevant for the future audiences.
All right. So great points from you all, but because I'm more greedy, we have some time left and we have all MBA students in front of you. So I would like that if you can suggest like one takeaway for them, because a lot of them are also sitting for their placements right now, either after 2 years job placement or summer internship. So any one takeaway or any one suggestion that you would like to give to our MBA students. So we'll go from Jasleen this time. Yes.
Thank you. I'll share you a ground reality of being in a marketing department, and I'm very sure each panelist is going to agree with me. You sit in a boardroom or a meeting room with salespeople, yeah, and they always feel that marketing is in its own bubble. That's generally a notion, yeah. If you are genuinely a true marketer, try and break that. Go out in the market, talk to customers, and be with your salespeople. At the end of the day, the real reason why a marketing department exists is to actually support sales, is not to make beautiful campaigns, is not to do glamorous influencer marketing programs. That is all a way to achieving your goal, and your goal is not that. If you do not know your turnover numbers, you do not know your profitability numbers, you do not know your P&L, I am sorry, but you're a failed marketer. Get those sorted. And once you have those sorted, it'll become very easy for you to know what to do. Because you know the tools, you know the levers, but un levers ka karna kya hai? Like, what's my outcome? Why am I doing a marketing campaign? Why am I getting these 5 influencers on board? So I feel, and I've seen that landscape changing. I've seen marketers being very, very involved in boardroom discussions and financial discussions, and I feel it is going to continue. It is going to be one trait that'll be very respected, and that already is very respected in a marketer. So start with that. Start to know operations, and bottom line is never lose touch of the market, like the ground reality. If you have a 24-day working month, you had to make sure that 3 days you're out in the market, 3 days you're interacting with consumers and getting the pulse of where the industry is heading.
Jasleen.
Priyanka.
Oh, sorry. Priyanka.
No worries. The question takes me back to across the table, and I'm going to reflect from your side. I did my bachelor's in finance. I did my master's in finance, wondering that am I a marketeer or a finance person? But I was too rigid at that time. I wanted to be in finance. And then, as life would had it, I had my detours. I traversed from finance to strategy to marketing. And what became my differentiating edge? My edge became my ability to interpret numbers, my ability to understand business, and my ability to create storytelling and creativity backwards of business impact. I think this is the way we have to see our specializations. Be risk savvy, choose electives which are beyond your comfort zone, stretch yourself. There is a very blurred line in the boardroom, as Jasleen mentioned. A marketer needs to talk to the CFO to get approvals done. He needs to crunch numbers. He needs to digest numbers. He needs to bring up a business case to get budgets. So be flexible. Please don't be rigid like me, but be open to risk taking. Choose electives which push you beyond your comfort zone, and get an a foundational knowledge in all the subjects is what I would suggest. Don't be destined to only marketing hat or only finance hat or supply chain. Just be open, and variety is the key, is my message.
Weber.
First of all, I think you guys need to chill a bit. So, yeah, I can see you've been like, what, 5-6 hours since morning, long day. So, chill a bit. And like, I completely,
Days of summits
yeah,
and
so
12 summits in 3 days.
very rigorous. And in fact, I was telling you, it's very rigorous work. You'll have lots of it. But like, I completely resonate with what they said. Don't be rigid. And we've seen this, this fixation that, oh, I have studied this. How will I change track? I have been an expert in this. First of all, in today's time, anybody who thinks he's an expert is living in a fool's paradise. You can never achieve expertise in this age and time. Trust me. In front of you, see examples. 3 months, a tool or engine which was unheard of. Today everybody is using it practically. In offices, in colleges, ChatGPT, OpenAI, everybody is using that. I think matter of 6 months to 3 months. The pace of technology change and by tech, not the industrial tech, on your phone, on apps, on consumerism, is going to be so much more rapid. I think when the digital movement was happening, right from the internet to the Orkut to the Facebooks, then to social commerce, Amazons, now quick commerce. I think quick commerce, for example, 3 years back, who would have thought that Blinkit and Zepto would become, such large organizations? So the pace will be really crazy. Just be on the go. Just keep adapting. And I think the biggest differentiator that you guys will have to live with is the ability to unlearn. I think that's extremely important. Please be open to learning new things, and extremely important to unlearn. Whatever has worked till now will not work ahead, and the pace of technology, I think there's this Moore's law, which talks about the technology change will like double every 3 years, right? The size of the chips that the quantum of power that you pack in technologies is increasing. In 3 months, the technology is getting obsolete. So that will be a big change you'll have to live with. So just be agile. That's the only thing we can tell you.
All right, Rahul.
Yeah, I think I agree completely with Priyanka, Jasleen, and Vaibhav that in today's time, you really need to know your business. You really need to know the numbers. You really need to know what's happening across the board. When you go into the meeting or a room, you might think of just making rocket, but that doesn't happen. Probably, you'll just come out empty hand. If you are receptive enough to understand what is the perspective behind when somebody is giving you knowledge, somebody is trying to make you learn something, you really need to do that. And Priyanka said that I'm just thinking, when I'm sitting across the side, I feel, most of the students also have that whatever we are learning in the books, are those going to be applied in future? Sine theta, cos theta, whatever we will learn, are we using that? If you are into marketing, I can completely vouch on that, and I can say that whatever you learn in the books, you are absolutely going to use it in the corporate world, and then you will see the relevancy of it. Yeah, I heard it, I read it, and I'm applying it in the corporate world, and the difference might be a bit because of what you heard was theoretically made, but now you're applying it, so that would be a little different. But you will absolutely see pricing model, or 4 P's of marketing or 10 P's of marketing. Things are evolving a lot. Everybody needs to be updated also. Earlier, what marketeer were doing with the conventional marketing, now everybody is dependent on AI. Companies like B2B companies are using AI in order to interpret the behavior of consumer and to run the campaign. We are using 6N model to send out an email by analyzing the behavior of customer, by understanding the partner. So things are evolving a lot, and at the moment we think that we know everything, as Vaibhav said, we are done. It means that ability to learn has stopped. It means whatever will come in future, you might not be able to learn it and then implement it. It means the people who are going to you are going to negotiate with, they're more intelligent than you. It means you will not be able to come on a break even to negotiate with them and to get your final budget approved.
All right, Arun.
I think pretty much covered by all fellows. The only thing, I'll be a little brutal in saying that I just want to remind everybody that marketing budget is just a percent of total revenue. So everybody is saying that you need to keep in mind that all of the organization works towards one goal, which is the revenue. So for sure, so in that context, actually I resonate with all of them, that you have to have understanding, whatever we are trying to do, is it contributing towards revenue or not? If it is not, sorry, it is not relevant. The second thing which even Beva started, that you have to be relevant, and I think you need to be updated. Sometimes it's not that easy to be, keep updated and keep up to the pace. Then you should never hesitate or feel insecure in working with the new people who actually know the things better than you. So as a let's say, when we start working in organization, people get kind of insecure. Okay, newcomer hai to shayad maybe meri job pe kuch na ho jaye, because they know better than me. Never ever in your life feel insecure, because I think with changing time, everything will keep on changing, and you'll still stay relevant till the time you are ready to do experiment with all of them. So that's all from my side.
Thank you to all our panelists for such an enlightening discussion with an in-depth perspective that really sheds light over our theme. Your perspective adds a lot of value, so now let's move on to the Q&A session. The floor is now open for the audience.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful session. I'm really honored to be here. One question that I had was, what advice would you like to give to the companies who are trying to rebuild the trust after being accused of greenwashing or misrepresentation?
Any one of you? Yeah. Yeah, Priyanka, yes. No, I didn't.
Yeah. So I said that yes, on the trajectory of experimentation, some goof ups happen. But the brands who own up their mistake, who stand by and give a very transparent communication to their customers, apologize foremost, they move on and they are seen in the right spirit. And consumers also are of the tendency of moving on, and things get better and better. So transparent communication, complete ownership, and owing up to the mistake is what the hack of getting through the mistakes is.
Thank you all. It was very insightful session to be here. My question is to Rahul sir. Sir, in B2B segment, it is generally difficult to market a brand than to in D2C or B2C. So what challenges do you face generally and how do you overcome it?
Yeah, so yeah, B2B space, works very different than you are into D2C, because you can go ahead and you have a TVC channel, you can have a partner, but here it's completely different, right? So here, sales is an engine for us, right? I would say at 85% or 80% sales comes from sales originated, sale. So the moment you have a solid sales team, and our sales team is divided into 3-4 categories, we call that SDRs, and then we have account managers, then we have a directors, and they all are running for one goal, which is to close business with with client. And what matters the most is, it's not about sales, it's about the product. If your product is able to create the differentiation, if your product is in the niche, niche placement of a positioning in the market, then you would be able to sell it, and it becomes easier for any salesperson to go and sell in the market. After that, once the sales is over, what is more important for company and for marketeer, it is very helpful to sales service. If we are able to service the customer in a way, the way they want it, and we are able to sustain the relationship based on the trust we spoke about, it becomes easy for us. Of course, starting the business and maintaining it for a longer time, it might take more than usual time. But the moment you are able to do that, it becomes easy, and it becomes like convenient for a marketeer to go ahead and run the campaign based on the relationship we built. Hope it's satisfied, right? Cool. Yeah.
So I also hail from B2B marketing, and I've done a lot into access channel marketing. And I would really want to add to this perspective, that the question that you've asked. B2B, your customer is the seller, okay? And you have to solve for the seller's life. You have to aid him, enable him, make his life easy to make the sale possible. So what are the avenues that you take to make his life easier? You have to give him conversations to open up with the customer. That happens in many ways, which we call it as integrated marketing campaigns. And by that I mean is that you can give him ready collaterals, which are beautiful collaterals, which are meaningful give gets in the hand of the seller, which can give him the acumen to talk, intuitivity to talk, what is in it for the product and what is he supposed to sell. The second bit is the muscle that we built at Axis Max Life Insurance is experiential events, which means that you do camps into your retail touchpoints. These could be health camps on World Health Day. These could be child interaction activities on Children's Day. ways and means to connect the customer in their life goals. It could be the journey of retirement planning workshops. It could be tax scams at the time of filing of the taxes at the end of Feb and March. So these are the interventions where you marry topicality and you do experiences, land them into the retail touchpoints, which are bank branches for us, and enable that conversation free flow happening for the seller. That is how you make it very, very enriching for the seller. You are easing his life to take it forward. You're easing his life to take it forward and convert in a very easy manner. That's where B2B marketing aids in terms of reaching to the B2B2C customer.
Good evening. Thank you all for such an insightful session. So my question is, usually we measure engagement through clicks or purchases. Now that digital India is changing, what new criterias do you think can be used for this?
See, while, like you said, the metrics more or less are typically the same, in terms of clicks, likes, views, shares. Then you can go deeper into the funnel and measure traffic, add to cart, sales. That's the operational part of it, right? But if you ask me, if you were to define what a good engagement would look like, typically it would be a 3C formula, right? One, it has to have the right context, right? Second, it has to have obviously an element of creativity and storytelling. Third, it has to be consistent. If you see seldom it happens that all 3Cs come together. It's like most brands can do the context right, they can do the creativity, storytelling right, but then probably the consistency is what will kind of falter. So if to have a truly defining engagement as a overall always on approach, I think if you crack the 3Cs, which is consistency, right context, and right creativity, I think that is when you can really say that the engagement really works, and that's a holistic engagement beyond the metrics obviously that you have to measure.
All right. So thank you, everyone. So we have shortage of time here, but I personally really enjoyed our interactions, and I always feel that panels are like the talking points that we can discuss later on. Like it just ignites new ideas and new basis of discussion. We discussed how trust can be seen from very different viewpoints. How we can include tangibility to the word trust, and also as a marketer, what our responsibilities are. And as our future marketers who are sitting here, I hope we have given certain ideas into their minds, and they can use those ideas and carry it forward in their day-to-day working and in the future. So thank you so much for giving your time and your knowledge and insights today. Thank you so much.
The profound insights shared by our panelists have offered us a fresh and enriching perspective. Dr. Amrita opened the discussion by highlighting the discussion how leading brands redefine trust and loyalty today. Key questions explored whether trust stems from reliability, emotion, or transparency, the evolving role of physical stores in the digital era, and how service excellence and long-term relationships can become marketing strengths. The session concluded with panelists sharing whether they invest future growth in AI, transparency, or loyalty innovation.
Dr. Dogra shared the importance of channel partners in sustaining a brand's growth. He emphasized that the mutual trust between the company and its partners is a key pillar in building long-term success and credibility.
Mr. Rahul explained that understanding customer pain points goes beyond revenue. It's about relationship building. He discussed the growing role of AI driven marketing in creating personalized and meaningful engagement.
Mr. Webhove emphasized on the importance of being present across all customer touchpoints, highlighted that retail sales is built brick by brick through strong customer service rather than rapid expansion.
Ms. Priyanka discussed after sales services in the insurance industry, stressing that real trust is built when companies deliver on promises. She also quoted the brand motto, India ke har risk ka number, showcasing reliability and accountability. And Ms. Jasleen spoke about the transformation of retail, once considered shock proof, and how it was vice versa after COVID 19. Also, while digital growth is vital, it has its limits, and brands must maintain balance and moderation between online and offline strategies.
On behalf of the entire Conventus'25 team, we express our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished speakers, Dr. Arun Dogra, Mr. Rahul Dubey, Mr. Webhav Kaul, Ms. Priyanka Arora, Ms. Jasleen Kaur, for taking out time to share thought-provoking insights with us. Your perspectives have provided invaluable guidance on how to navigate the future of marketing, rooted in trust, loyalty, and engagement. We also extend our sincere thanks to our moderator, Dr. Amrita Bansal, for an interactive and enriching session.
We would now request Dr. Bansal to felicitate the speakers with a memento. Dr. Arun Dogra. Mr. Rahul Dubey. Mr. Webhav Kaul. Ms. Priyanka Arora. Ms. Jasleen Kaur. We would now request Lavanya from the Marketing Club to present our female panelists with a hamper from our sponsor Plum Love and Body. We would now request our Joint Secretary Keshav Gupta to felicitate Dr. Bansal with a memento.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all our esteemed sponsors for their invaluable support in making Conventus 25, the annual management conclave of IMI Delhi, a grand success. A special thanks to our title sponsor Bank of Baroda, whose partnership has been instrumental in bringing this event to life. We are equally thankful to our co-sponsor RPSG and our Finance Summit sponsor Indian Bank for their continued encouragement. Our appreciation also goes to ICICI Bank as our banking partner, LIC as our insurance partner, HFCL as our telecom solution partner, and STEM Executive Search Private Limited as our sustainability partner for their support in diverse domains. We sincerely thank Key Properties as our real estate partner, Phoenix Global as our learning partner, Royal Enfield as our exploration partner, Vanessa Care as our fragrance partner, Plum Love and Body as our bath and body care partner, Go Grab as our convenience partner, White Heaven as our entertainment partner, Fever FM as our media partner for enriching the experience of Conventus 25. Your collaboration and trust continue to inspire us to make every edition of Conventus bigger, bolder, and better.
We are certain that the session has been enriching for each one of us. Thank you to all our speakers, professors, students, and the staff of IMI for your support and presence. As we disperse, let's carry the mantra forward. Design for trust, deliver for loyalty, and measure true engagement. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. We warmly invite our esteemed panelists to join us for a group photograph. We would be delighted to have members of the Marketing Club and Student Council to join as well. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the Marketing Summit 2025. We would now request our panelists to move for refreshments.